Hey, I'm Corey.
And I'm John.
And welcome to the Tiny Room Movie Review. Hey man, you hear about the Tiny Room?
Whoa, shh.
Today we're talking about Ugly Dolls, directed in 19 something. Today we're talking about Ugly Dolls, directed in 2019 by Kelly Asbury, starring an ensemble cast led by Kelly Clarkson and Nick Jonas.
Ugly Dolls is about a group of misfit dolls that want to prove themselves worthy of being a toy?
Wait, what?
I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what this movie was about, plot-wise.
Alright, well, let's get straight into it.
Sorry, I'm Moxie.
Bobo. Lucky Bat.
Wage.
Folks call me Ugly Doll.
Because that's his name.
But those close to me call me Slick Doll.
Which is not his name.
Starting with audio visual, I actually thought that, the animation was really good. Nothing seemed out of place with animation-wise. I think the animation honestly stacked up with Pixar, DreamWorks, a lot of those top-name movie companies.
Yeah, it's definitely the kind of 3D CGI animation that we've come to see from a lot of movies in this generation. And it was done well. This movie's a musical, and it's got original songs, but every song kind of sounded the same. It's very poppy and very loud, and I didn't understand most of the lyrics.
Yeah, I felt like they tried to get Nick Jonas and Kelly Clarkson to just kind of like, hey guys, we want to make a movie, and we want to make it kind of like Pixar, like like what Pixar kind of does with like musicals in a way.
Yeah.
And then just kind of gave them free reign, and this is what they came up with.
Like, yeah, I know it's unfair to compare movies a lot, but like Trolls, I think did a really good job of bringing in pop culture music in a way that suited the movie and made sense in the character and the scene, and it flowed nicely and kind of created that cool musical element. This movie did not do that.
I feel like they do that a lot with other movies, like I said,
yeah.
DreamWorks and Pixar. They do a really good job of adding that kind of musical. I mean, granted, they've been doing it for a long time.
Sure.
But like, yeah, it felt like a lot of the audio and the visual in this movie were copied, or they were trying to get it to that point of what, now is kind of the benchmark of animated CGI movies like that, you know?
Yeah.
You were right the whole time, Lucky Bat.
Me?
We found our own truth.
Moving on to acting. Well, they're not actors or actresses. They're professional musical artists. So yeah, I feel like a lot of it was dependent on their singing, which, by all means, yeah, Kelly Clarkson isn't she has a nice voice. But when you put that into voice acting, that's not really what I wanted to see, I guess.
Yeah, they're, like you say, they were really relying on the music here, and unfortunately, you still have to put a little effort into acting, other than just reading the script. I some of the comedians they have were kind of interesting. Like, Wanda Sykes is always fun as her shtick, but even that kind of fell flat at times. I was a little disappointed. One of the characters is actually voiced by Gabriel Iglesias, and you wouldn't know. Like,
I did not know that.
There was no he didn't throw it. He didn't get to throw in his own jokes or anything. Like, it wasn't really interesting at that. So yeah.
As far as plot structure, yep, kind of what we said in the summary. Yeah, it's kind of hard to. I think it's a good idea. I think it really was like a clever idea of, where do all the discarded puppets go? That have like defects and stuff like that, and yeah, it kind of made it like an interesting little story. But again, it seems like they relied a lot on the music. A lot of it was like you could see it coming. Nothing was really like, oh my god, there's a twist, or anything like that. So the overall plot structure, like, I thought was pretty good, the idea of it, but I just don't think they like executed it very well.
Okay, so I need to say up front, like, this is a kids movie. I understand that. Like, this is you know, this is not for grown adults. So it's easy to be like, oh yeah, well, it seemed a little childish to me. Well, obviously, but even taking that into consideration, this movie really missed the mark. They've got a really good moral and theme. This idea that, like, no, I mean, you should accept yourself as who you are, and you're deserving to be in there. But there's some major plot holes that I would like to address here. First off, so the idea is that the reject dolls try and get in with the dolls that are going to make it, which are, for some reason, they have to go through some sort of like training and gauntlet to be accepted as a toy. But the toys that are the perfect dolls and the ones without defects are all human dolls. And then and then all the ones that are like have defects, they're not like human dolls that are like missing an arm or like broken in other little ways. They're a completely different species of toy.
Yeah, one's like a dog, another one's it's like they're like creatures. They're
Yeah.
not even human.
They're like little rabbits and stuff. Like, it's like it's one thing to say, hey, yeah, everyone has their defects and, you know, we should treat everyone the same. And like, those are less than human because they are. Like, that is what they are. Like, they're different.
Well, so if you notice throughout the entire movie, even if there was a defect of one of the human dolls,
yeah.
none of them were in the actual place.
Exactly.
So like none of them are defects.
Yeah.
But like every other like creature doll that they made had at least like a couple, you know?
Exactly. It really threw me off through the whole movie.
Yeah.
About,
I didn't even think about that until right now. Yeah.
It really bothered me. Because again, that whole moral of like, oh, but everyone's cool. And like the one defect, the one human doll that did have a defect is like, oh, she wears glasses. Ooh.
Yeah.
Throw her away.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah, that was the one thing you're gonna rag on people with glasses. Like,
Yeah.
how's that a? Yeah, that was a strange thing.
Yeah, it was just odd. And I didn't understand, like, all right, so they have to go through this gauntlet type thing to like learn. They got to train to be a toy, which involved not getting thrown into a washing machine.
No, that was a different portion of it. That wasn't getting. Well, no, I guess that was.
That was like part of the training. It was like I say, it didn't. Like, it just didn't make sense. And
This is what the movie is.
I feel like kids these days are a lot smarter than this film gave them credit for. I think they would have understood a little bit of, I don't know, depth or
Maybe.
background or structure in some way. And this movie really just threw it all out the window.
Yeah.
Wake up, Moxie!
I've always believed the big world is real. I know I'll find the perfect kid for me, but I'm starting to wonder, with no evidence, no proof, what if it's not true?
Continuing on to engage. Wow, I can't speak. Continuing on to engagement. Honestly, I wanted to be engaged. I wanted to like this, but like the musicals felt like the musical numbers felt forced. A lot about the movie just it really wasn't that engaging to me.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I said before, it is a kid's film. There's lots of flashing lights and colors. I'm sure it captures some younger kids' attention. But if you're looking for a decent movie to watch with your kids, you're not going to be engaged. It's boring at times.
Finally, would I recommend? No. Nope. No. Yeah, I really wanted to like this movie. You say it's a kid's movie, but at the same time, like, that's where I keep bringing up Pixar and DreamWorks, just because, like, those are all kids' movies, but, like, an adult could love those movies. They could watch them, be engaged, love the audiovisual, everything that we go through. But, like, this just does not, like, I would not recommend it for anything, even, like, one point in the movie. There's not one thing I could sit down and think of that I could recommend this movie for. I take that back. throw it on for your kids, but you leave the room. That's all I really got. And I don't even know if your kids would be entertained. They might be, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, probably in the background, like, if you just want something on while they play with Legos and pick their boogers, like, it's probably okay for that.
Is that only for kids?
Oh. Well, if, I'm not, you're fully allowed to pick your boogers and play with Legos.
Sweet.
I'm never playing with your Legos again.
Oh.
Anyway, no, I don't recommend this movie. And I gotta admit, if you have kids, I think you gotta realize and be very careful with the movies you pick. Because if they like it, you're stuck with this movie for a good 3 or 4 years on constant repeat. This is not the one you want.
So you're welcome
So
for us reviewing this.
Yeah, do not go for Ugly Dolls. Stick with Frozen or Incredibles or Up.
Yeah. Or an R-rated movie
Yeah,
for your children.
watch Resident Evil with your children. But do not watch Ugly Dolls.
Ew, what are those?
Is that supposed to be some kind of dog?
Lou is so not gonna like this.
Definitely not.
All right. Now that you've heard from us, let's say... Oh, wow. Nope. All right. All right. Now that you've heard from us, let's see how Tiny Room feels about Ugly Dolls. Well, there you have it. Thanks for watching, and let us know what you thought of Ugly Dolls in the comments section below.
Also, let us know if there's any movies you'd like us to review in the future.
That's creepy.
Excuse me.
Tiny Room. Shh.